there were other students there. Those people were not fighting. You cannot say we fought if somebody did not retaliate. We just want to say to the young people, each and every person has got right to life.
To just go and ask for forgiveness, it shows that there's a problem from within internal.
I also feel for the girl who gave the last clap to Lufuno.
And it starts off as a joke.
Despite on whose child it is.
He allegedly assaulted Lufuno Mavhunga for Lufuno Mavhunga.
I am going through somebody who understands, somebody who can hear. Kids are getting raped in schools.
Lufuno was just one of the victims that are suffering bullying every day. People are being bullied at different ages. It's just unfortunate that she reported to the people who might have taken it light, be it at home or at school, because people who were bullied will not take it serious. They will say, no, it's cool. We went through that. No, it will come to an end. But had it been taken serious, we don't know, maybe we would have been sitting like this, maybe remembering and thinking about the young life lost. But bullying takes place from different angles. At home, siblings can bully one another, which is the basic root of what we today call gender-based violence. It starts when people are young. It must be cut short, if not to be finished, because people are angry, born with anger, natural anger, competing one another. There are so many things that makes people to be vile to one another. So realizing that she voiced her situation to some people, we will not say she did not break the silence. She broke the silence, but the problem is who listened to her and what did they do. And with her, it was not just like theory. On the week that she then took her life, it was on social media, where somebody from a distance took some pictures of her being beaten, and she was not fighting back. And there were other students there. Those people were not fighting. You cannot say we fought if somebody did not retaliate. We just want to say to the young people, each and every person has got right to life. Nobody has to frustrate or to harass anyone for any reason. We cannot play by hating one another to an extent that this young girl did not know where to be happy. At home, she might have been coming across some situations, because the bullying was not only the beating, they were also verbally abusing her. I think it started with verbal abuse from the point of view of her background. Where do you come from? What are you wearing? How do we look at you? How do we see you? Which should be discouraged from home. As parents, we should take responsibility to know the kind and the character of the child that I'm bringing up. When I just take it for granted that my child will be loving when she or he goes out, it's a myth. We don't know what triggers people to fight on the specific fight. But what we know is that people do fight from the beginning of life. In the Bible, it's recorded that when people were only 4, according to Genesis chapter 1, Cain killed Abel, and they were brothers, blood brothers. They were only 2. That spirit did not die when those people died. It's still hovering in the whole world. People, when they look at other people and they compare themselves with them, and they realize this one is better than mine. I mean, look at Cain fighting with Abel. over the smoke, that my brother's smoke went up straight, mine just dwindled on the air. And he was not saying my brother maybe blow my smoke not to go straight. Smoke is something that you cannot put in the pocket, something that you can. So there shouldn't be any reason to be saying it's because of this and that. When people fight, it shows that there is no peace. Peace, though, it's not an absence of war. Peace, the inner peace, it's self-acceptance and accepting other people and their space of life. You know, when we were growing up, being beaten just because we are new at the secondary school, we were beaten. I arrived at Mpapuri Secondary School in 1977, and we were doing Form 2. We did Form 1 at Paswana. You arrive there, those who were already there, they feel the school is theirs. They will be treating you. And it was known that it's called the treatment. You should be beaten, you are new, you are, you know, even adversity. When people do freshers bowl, they were trying to deal with the issue of ill-treating people because they are first years. Then I think somebody just came with the idea to say, but what did these people do to us? Why can't we throw a bowl to welcome them? That you are here, there are faculties there. So when we see people fighting, I think they need an idea of change. Even the programs in which they are engaged at school. Where Lufuno was schooling, the competition on maths and science is very high. When you see somebody performing maybe better than you, and you don't go to that person and ask, how are you making it? How can you help me? How can I approach this learning area? You end up bitter by saying this one is performing better. Then you start comparing, but she's from a poor background, I'm from a well-to-do family. And there are no well-to-do families. People are struggling in big houses and in big cars. So I just want to say, it's a spirit that needs to be dealt with. Maybe by the programs at school. There are no more sporting activities that people are engaged in most schools, African schools to mention, where people will make friendship around a particular sporting code. Because if these girls were playing together in the same team of netball, I don't think they would have found time maybe to play by beating one another, to an extent that this other one felt fed up, that she tells herself, nobody's listening, nobody's intervening, I'll rather take my life. And that note was so sad to be read, because the age also of the girls, it's still so tender that when these other ones are taking it as a game to make fun and play and beat this other one, I don't ever think it ever daunted to them that the following day will never see this girl permanently, not because she has changed the school, but because she has checked out of this life. And I believe that could be the stigma for life, that I once bullied a person and that person took her life, which we discourage. From home, people are bullying one another, as siblings, as parents, as, you know, and it's so frustrating when you are in the same home setup and somebody is suffering and nobody is not intervening. At school, it's not only the principal who is there. There are teachers, there are HODs, there are support group staffs. There are so many people who are seeing things happening. It's only when somebody has stabbed another person at school or pull out a gun, shoot the principal or what, leave a note that it's long that I've been reporting this and this has not been attended. So I think we also need the serious intervention of social workers and clinical psychologists, because when you go to a primary school, a white primary school, there is a permanent post of a clinical psychologist who is permanently there, who is not called because an issue has happened. There is an office of a policeman. You find an SAPS person reporting at a white school every day to make relations. We have no relations with the police. Once you see them, you think of running, even if you're not guilty of anything. So our school support staff is not enough. There should be a social worker in every school who is reporting there. There should be a clinical psychologist who is reporting there, because those kids are from different homes. Imagine if I've got 5 children at home, it's a hell job of a work to make them one, to make them friends, to make them prayer partners, to make them help each other in whatever. It's a challenge to them. So in a school like where Lufuno was schooling, how many are they there? Grade 8 only has got more than 800 people. How many teachers are there? One principal in a school where there are more than 1,000 children. So, and the aim at school is not that social. We want them to be academically okay. We want distinctions and nothing else. So for them to look at a child one by one, finding out how is it at home, in the transport of coming, you know, Lufuno was from far. Njerere and Toyando, the fatigue, the daily traveling of this child from that distance, and the frustration she was going through, and the performance per subject which is expected of her. You could tell that it might not only be the beating, but the system, the life itself, the workload, the distance to be covered. I mean, if a child is coming from Njerere to Sibasa, it's about 35 km. This person is traveling 70 kilometers every day in a week. And this person must perform in all the subjects. This person has got her own life, which should not be interfered by others. So frustration levels, they go with also in my home, who is helping me, who is understanding the workload that I have. If the teacher of mathematics want this homework done, the teacher of life science, the teacher of, all of them are expecting me to perform. And I know during break time, I'm still going to be beaten. And after school, I'm still, those kids fought after school, out of the school yard. But because they belong to that school, it had a dent on the school setup. But looking at young people and trying to persuade that we are not here for so long on this earth. The Bible says in Psalms chapter 90, we are here for a period of 70 to 80 years. Beyond that, it's a bonus. So if I'm starting to frustrate somebody who is not yet 20 and expect this person to wait for the 80th year, happy, I will be having a problem. I mean, injuring that person, causing scars on his skin, it was not called for. And those friends who might have been maybe like clapping hands, I don't think they are still clapping hands after knowing that that girl should have been with us, competing with us in life science, in physical science. We should be going to the university together on such and such a year. And also the parents. I think they may suffer guilt of saying, but why didn't we listen to that child? But it will never bring her back. It may cause them illnesses, which even doctors may not be able to deal with, because they will have to forgive themselves, the parents, the other people, even the teachers. They cannot just sweep it under the carpet. and say, ah, no, it happens in life, ah, no, she will not come back. So we are saying to, and it's just unfortunate, people who play karate and kung fu and what are boys at school, where you'll find this other one came to school with both eyes. But because that one kicked, not knowing that that one is bending down, now the child has got one eye. Throwing things. I know of people who come to school normal, happy, not disabled, but somebody was throwing a stick. It hit the head and the person is now disabled. That's bullying. Why do I throw stones? Why do I throw sticks? Why do I want to hurt the other person? Then the answer will be, I am not happy myself. Then I would want to transfer pain to other people. From the look of things, you may think, these girls are very happy, that's why they are playing by beating others. No, the anger, the bitterness, the frustration, if it is not well attended to from a tender age, like those people are still at secondary. I mean, even at university, you'll hear that a young man has harbored a girl and they are trying to save the girl. He has got a gun. Oh, who has pushed somebody from third floor to what? This is the anger that the young people are going through without an attempt. You know, us as Africans, we go to the hospital when we feel sick. Unless there is pain in the body, we don't visit the doctor. We don't get checkup. So what more the social worker and the psychologist, we don't know they are there for us. We don't even in a family where there is a medical card which covers the services of a clinical psychologist, they will never dare call the psychologist in their home to assess happiness, to assess peace. You just see, you know, this boy has picked up a gun, shot everybody in the house. It starts from being not happy as an individual. So Lufuno was just an ice tip just in the ocean. There are young people who are suffering in the hands of other young people. So I believe parents, teachers, and adults in the community, they have got a role to play. We cannot just say, no, we were beaten. You know, the abused will always abuse. The beaten will always beat others. But we must stop it. It must come to an end. When we call it gender-based violence, those were girls frustrating another girl. We cannot say it's a reason of gender. It's not a boy over a girl. It's girls on girls. So, which shows that this issue of violence, it does not know any person's gender. It's just bitterness which is in the people, which must be dealt with. Parents know, we know. If, like I'm saying, I've got 5. I know the one who was troublesome from the day he was born. And if I ignore it and do not seek help for that person, it's one day you hear the story that puts him on media or that puts her on media. Then others will say, after all, your family was not that known. Now your son has put you on the limelight. Is it limelight when somebody is normal? It cannot be limelight. And we just hope the parents will find solace that when we are here on this earth, violence may trigger somewhere. I mean, Jesus was killed in the presence of his mother. He did not owe anybody anything. But those people, they dragged him. They put him on the cross. In the presence of his friends, the disciples, the mother was there. And as he was hanging there, nobody ever protected him. Not even the king, not even the Pharaoh of the time, not even the Herod of the time. So when death comes, at times people whom we think, like we're saying, the parents and the teachers and the support staff, I mean, that one was hanged in a place where there was a pharaoh, a king, a Herod, and the mother was there watching. As he was hanging on the cross, he just said to his friend Peter, Peter, take that one as your mother. And he said to his mother, Mother, let that one be your other son. And he knew he was going only for 3 days. But he made an organization as to from here, where is my mother going? If I am the firstborn in the house and I'm being put on the cross, what's next to my mother? So violence is as old as humanity, is as old as us, but we can deal with it through education, through faith, through love, through a lot of things. I mean, in a school where there is no, I have talked about sporting codes, where there are no subjects that learners will be working together, like home economics, which is cookery, garments making, where there is no gardening, where there is nothing. We are here for 1, 2, 3 and ABC throughout. It's so difficult to make friendship because the competition is that I should be number one or else, I should be number one or else. So we just want to say, let there be dramas at school where this issue of violence can be displayed to say it's not good. Let there be films that can be shown at schools. There are so many things that can make an intervention which can bring up a positive change. I think the people, let's say there are students in a particular school who knows that in January there are new students who are coming. Some might be coming in higher grades. Like Lufuno was not in grade 8. I think she was doing grade 10. So bullying has got no particular group. But general bullying is when we see people who are coming to the school and we call them new ones. Even in Chivenda, bandima new one, you know, you will be beaten for arriving that way. And there is nothing you did. It's only that you were born later than the one who is beating you. So there were pastors who would be called in our time to come and preach. Some pastors, I remember our class teacher was T.S. Murigwe. He was our class teacher in grade, when we were doing standard, it's grade 9 now. By then it was standard 7. He protected us so much. But he wouldn't go on break with us. He would still be beaten during break time. But where there are Christians and they preach love, it's not like in a school where they say, no religion, no nothing. Here we are here for math and science. They don't know the trauma and the pain that the people will be going through. So religion, irrespective of which one, be it a Baha'i, be it Islam, be it, there is no religion that promotes endangering someone's life. So even parents, I remember my mother had to take me to school. I also decided not to go to school when I was doing Form 2 because this person is beating me, taking my lunch box and and instructing you to bring things which you do not have at home. If somebody beats you and say bring a boiled egg tomorrow, it's not like now where eggs are readily available in the kitchen. You have to go and steal an egg under a chicken which is just sitting on the eggs. When you are boiling water to bath, you then boil that egg and then it's not for you. You are trying to please that person and they beat you, but tomorrow bring bananas. Hey, tomorrow bring avocados. So it has been continuous that people will tell you to bring money which they do not have. So my mother had to take me to school and also to take me to the home of the girl who was beating me and talked to the mother, but my child cannot stop going to school because of your child. Then it stopped because they will share us They will just say, I'm taking this two, they are mine the whole year. I'm taking this two, I'm taking this one. And you'll be beaten by the same person the whole year. Until next year, when now you feel I was beaten too much last year, therefore I must also get mine to beat. Which is terrorism. You terrorize another person. And there is no way where Africans would be homeschooling. It's not near now. Where we'll say, you do your homeschooling if you don't want to be beaten. They do not afford. Homeschooling, it's not for everybody. Though we will be saying, but addressing these learners, making them debate around these topics. I remember when we were doing more Form 3, Form 4, we would go as far as Huiti in Polokwane there, just to go there for debates. When we were at Univen, somebody was bullied and we realized it was serious. Then we started debating with other universities. We started debating. We would go by buses to UNIBO, University of Botswana, finding there people are still being bullied. But I remember when I was a lecturer at Makado College, there was a workshop that was done in Johannesburg College of Education, where white students are being trained to be teachers. We found them being bullied. Everyone would be standing in a dustbin, the black dustbin. Standing there, you face up, somebody's throwing water on you from the top there. And you would be made to run right around the college saying, I'm new here, until that person will say, and you even salute. The one who is doing the who is making you to do that. You salute, you pass, you run, you go there, you are watered, you go there. They are saying they are washing you secondary, they are taking secondary out of you, and they are white. So it's not only for black people where we'll say it's because of the color of the skin. No. Bullying is bullying and it's bad. And it must be confronted. It starts with me seeing my child bringing toys that I did not buy. I must find out how did my child got this toy. Because the owner must have been bullied, overcome, and then the toy was taken. How do you have extra pencils? I have given you one. Where did you get these ones from? Because you cannot just take them free. Somebody has suffered for them to be taken. So if we can start from there to say, in my house, I don't want to see strange things that I did not buy. You bring them here, you will see my other color that you have never seen. Then you are starting to deal with it and visit the school. You know, our problem, we go to school when we are invited to take reports. We don't even know what's happening from January to March. And we get those reports standing. A teacher is distributing more than 100 reports and then we run and go. That's not a meeting where we will know the characters of our children. But in white schools, they will call parents of a particular grade. They will say, on such and such a Saturday, come to school, come and help us to make teaching aids. They want to see characters of parents. When we give you the scissor to cut here so that we are making these shapes, how do you refuse with it to give to another parent? So what your child is doing in class, we can see it with you, relating with other parents. Then they will say, no, there is fun day, parents come. One parent will go there for 5 children. And they are not for this person only. So we still have a long way to understand as to what is school, why do we come together, why is it the responsibility of the government to bring us as a community at a particular place, why should we be educated? Because when we are not educated, we are as natural and as animals, as lions and any other thing. So school help us to purge out animality from us. So I go to school as an animal, but school must work with me. Church must work with me. Home must work with me. A life of a person is like a tripod stand. The other foot of the tripod is the school. the other one is the home, the other one is the faith. If one is not attended to, the life will not be okay. I might be a doctor but very violent because I did not have time to sit down and be taught by a person of religion. I might have a PhD, but home did not even try to help me an inch. So this 3-pot stand helps to cook a person's life. So going to school, you come disabled, you come lamed. It's another animal which is not yet harnessed there. So that's why do you know the scientific name of people? We are Homo sapiens. We are animals, but that are found in the womb. School is there to cook us until we become human. So if I go to school and I become so raw, the raw doctor, raw lawyer, raw, it means we did not open up for school to cook us enough. School has just dished out academic knowledge, but our being, you know, I like the Bible so much. In Acts chapter 17 verse 28, the Bible says, in him we live, we move, and we find our being. So if in school I do not live and find myself there, I will see others as what? As things, not as people. I mean, I also feel for the girl who gave the last clap to Lufuno, that she was just the last person on doing that. She might not have been the only person, but the fact that on those photos we only see a clap, she needs a lot of help from the parents again, from the teachers, because it's not a matter of moving from one school to the other. School is not prison where we should go there mild and we come back adamant. No. School, we must go there Homo sapiens. And when we come out, we must be human. That's the duty of the school. That's why they would, in school, in those days, they will make you do gardening. You will sweep the whole school. You will brush, you will clean the windows. Now we are growing people whom at home they cannot clean, they cannot wash windows, they cannot do anything because they are people that we are paying. At school, there are people who are cleaning the classrooms for them. They are not being groomed for anything, not even to water flowers at the school. In those days, you do this which the principal don't like or the teacher, they will tell you to go and clean the toilets. Today you cannot be, I don't know, maybe it's because of rights and what, but the people that we are producing, they are still going to shock us. Because they are being, the animality of a person must be strongly dealt with, not by being able to add and subtract, to multiply and to do what. Those are the things that we are putting in the person. But there is an animal that we must take out of the person. And we put humanity in that person. So that's why when we have grown up, look at how the whole country will be crying, hey, there is gender-based violence, hey, there is corruption, there is what. There are so many ails and ailments more than love and joy and peace and prosperity. So I think the programs of the school should include those extramural activities which deals with the person. Because it's not a matter of competing with mathematics in class. This person who is taking number last in class might be number one in the athletics field. And that person should be celebrated. At school, we celebrate position 1 to position 10. What about position 85? That child does not know why she's not number one or he's not number one. So we must create and open up a chance that she might not be good with physics and mathematics and what, but she's very good in making dresses. And she's learning that from school. You go to a white high school, Grade 10, they are doing learner's license. That's why you don't see them on the tracks learning to drive. Grade 10, when they pass grade 10, they also have got a learner's license tested at school. When they are waiting for the metric results, they are on the driving, what? Till now, we're still going to be 100 behind one truck. Somebody tips over the truck, our legs are chopped, what? Nothing happens, life continues. Our program is different from the program. In fact, what is being taught in African schools is the major problem. That child cannot use that knowledge at home. It's not even spoken about. Even when it's Chivenda, the content of what is being learned at school, it's not what is happening at home. Up until matric, black children get employed. They will never ask you of those 3 kinds of rocks that you studied and got your distinction in geography. They are not applicable. So until we change the syllabus and it helps a primary school, a secondary school child, a tertiary student, our education is not answering poverty that we have. Hence, we're still going to talk about unemployment. Go to Livubu. See if there is a white child there who is not employed. When this child passes grade 12, he can drive his father's truck. He can plow the field. He can drive a planter there. He's not waiting for somebody to employ. So this education, which is irrelevant, makes our children to be frustrated. No applicability of what is happening in our secondary schools. Unless if you are going to be a teacher and you repeat the same thing and you come and re-teach what you were taught, there is no application. Check our degrees that have been put up for us. When did we started to know that there is something called actuarial science? How many actuarial scientists do we have? How many do we want to produce? So if school is not answering life, it frustrates those who are receiving it. They become danger to themselves and to others. They endanger life for themselves and for others. So I think even our syllabus is contributory. Where do we get the energy to fight after school? If we were in the home economics class, if we were baking there and cooking, if others were sewing, if others were doing gardening, and we know tomorrow morning they want us here, where do we get energy to fight? So I think there are a lot of contributing factors which should be dealt with. We may not end them, but let's be cautious. Let's caution our children that, hey, people are not ours. They belong to God. Even if I gave birth to them, I must not frustrate them. I must not beat them, harass them, and what? They are not mine, they are God's. So if God says love one another as I have loved you, how do I plant love in my child? I think that will be the best way to approach it.